that somebody brings to one of these lectures, and at the end they come and say, that was very nice, I didn't understand it, but it was very nice. And it's sort of fine, lovely. Something happened, but who knows what. And you learn after many years of trying that you cannot rip the skin off a snake prematurely. It has to shed it, and it sheds it when it's ready. And that you can't awaken people. People awaken when they are ready. And when they're ready, then what awakens them, as we saw yesterday when we took a sampling, can be any number of things. It can be a leaf falling. It can be, being under the stars. It can be having a baby. It can be having an automobile accident. It can be any number of things. Once you've started the journey, however, it becomes more and more compelling. Now, what looks like a critical point when you started the journey, before that you hadn't, is obviously fraudulent. It's not a critical point. It looks critical because it was a moment when you noticed a change. But actually, all the build-up, all to the moment when that happened, I mean, I took psychedelics in the 60s, and that opened me. But other people took psychedelic in the 60s, and it didn't open them that way. And it had to do with the fact that I was ripe for that. And that ripeness had to do with everything that happened in my life, and many lives, probably. So there is a moment when that starts that seems to be a moment, but it's actually a continuous process. And from then on, the journey is fascinating because you begin to appreciate the fact that you are on a journey, that the meaning of life is a vehicle through which you can further awaken. As you study more deeply, you understand the nature of life experiences and the role of suffering, as we talked about yesterday, and you come to appreciate the way in which the end of suffering has to do, the end of your suffering has to do with the nature of your spiritual evolution, or the clinging of your own mind. And these are the Four Noble Truths that the Buddha enunciated after getting enlightened, which he said there is suffering, and the cause of suffering is the way the mind clings. And when the mind doesn't cling, then one doesn't suffer. And it's very clear. I mean, you can see it in any example of suffering, that the mind, the expectations, the models, the interpretations, the way the mind grabs has to do with the nature of the experience that we call suffering. You see your predicament, you see your suffering, you see there is a possibility that there is an end to suffering, and you come to understand there are practices you can do to move you from suffering to an end of suffering.